Hello BookTube! My name is Elizabeth and welcome back to the Owlery. Today is Vlogmas Day 15 and today I'm going to be talking to you about my favorite book covers in 2016. So all of these books were books released in 2016. I think all of them I read except for one of them, but all of the book covers are just gorgeous and some of my favorites that have ever been released, and I'm really excited to talk to you guys about them. The first one is Passenger by Alexandra Brackett, and I'll show you a bit of the cover a little bit better. What I love about this cover is that it has a ship in a bottle, and maybe it's just something personal for me, but my grandmother always had this ship in a bottle on like her table when I was growing up, and I thought it was just like the coolest thing how in the world they got this ship inside of the bottle. Like, it was just mind-boggling to me as a child. I still don't know how they do it. I mean, I'm assuming, I guess they put it in like piece by piece, but it's just crazy how they do that. And so I really love that they have New York City inside of this little bottle on the cover. And then something that's really cool, that's like a kind of minute detail that a lot of people don't notice, is that the reflection of the water on the cover shows like an old ship inside of a bottle, and this one has the city in it, the New York City, which is where the beginning of the book takes place. And so I think just like the reflection of the bottle and the city and the ship in the water, it's just really cool. I also really like the typography used. I'm sorry, because of my glare, it's kind of hard to see the book covers, but I'll be showing them to you up close. But yes, this is definitely one of my favorite book covers that was released this year. The Girl from Everywhere was another book that was released with a ship on the cover, and I liked this one. Again, I love ships, and I love the time travel aspect, and I love the color scheme and the typography used on this one. But what I think really made this cover stand out for me is that there is a girl in the wave that is behind the ship, and I thought that that was really, really cool. And honestly, I didn't even realize that you could see this girl's face on the ship, or on the wave behind the ship, until a couple of months ago, and I was just like, wow, that is cool, that is interesting. It's something that some people really don't notice, and I just thought it was a really neat aspect of this cover. Three Dark Crowns by Kendar Blake is a story about three sisters who have three different magical abilities. One is a naturalist, meaning that she can let me see, has the ability to bloom flowers and stuff like that. Another one is an elemental, can control the elements. And then the other one is a poisoner, meaning that she can consume any type of poison and not be affected by it. And the thing that I really like about this is that each crown on the front of the cover shows different aspects of each of the magical abilities that the sisters have, and I thought that was really, really interesting. Something else that I loved about this cover is that it's like a matte black, and it's like a velvety soft cover. I love that. And then the red on the inside, just like, oh, so good. And it has deckled edges, which I'm obsessed with, and the outside, or like the naked cover, I think is really cool. It kind of looks like one of those old timey books. It's got the two different colors, and it has like this embossed different like symbols here for each of the queens, and I think that was really cool. Three Dark Crowns is definitely one of the simpler books that was published this year on my list, but if you look really close, the details just make you understand how important the details of the book and the plot were important to the cover designer, and I think that's what makes this book really special. Crooked Kingdom by Leigh Bardugo. Everyone has to agree that this book is gorgeous, with the red pages and the brown kind of like old papery color, and then the crow and the crow's feathers at the end kind of making like a crown, or this could be even like a castle. I'm not sure. I haven't been able to read this duology yet, so I'm not really sure what this is supposed to be, but I just know it looks really, really interesting. I think it's a city or like a castle, because like all the feathers over here are making like kind of like towers as well, which is just, I mean, it's just so freaking cool. And like there's just a tad bit of red splotches here on the corner, which most people don't notice, but I think it's like a really cool thing that they included in this. And then the naked cover being red, and the typography, just everything about this book and the first one, Six of Crows, amazed me with how beautiful these book covers are. Glitter by April and Pike I love because it has so many different colors. So here's like a close-up version of it. I love the typography and I like that it looks like there's clouds or like dust or smoke or something coming out of her hair, and just the different colors that the clouds are, and kind of like this paint spatter type thing here on the corner. And then the back kind of looks like makeup, like a powder being kind of like crushed onto the covers. And I just think that the combination of pinks and purples just makes this cover really stand out. I'm not a really big pink or purple fan when it comes to book covers, but just having the little hints of it in her makeup and in the clouds or the dust over here, I just think give this book like a special edge. And I also really like the typography used. It kind of looks like the words are painted onto the cover, and I just love everything about the way that this cover is designed. A Court of Mist and Fury by Sarah J. Maas. I feel like part of the reason why I picked this book on my list is because it is like my favorite shade of blue. I love, love, love the shade of blue that this cover is. I also really like that the letters are like raised on the cover, and something that I really enjoyed is that Feyre's tattoo kind of like thing on her arm is shown on the cover of this, which I thought was really interesting. Again, the small details of the book cover that have to do with the plot points of the book being included on the book cover just melt my heart. Like if a book cover has something like that on there, which is like the smallest little plot point is included on the book cover, it just makes me want to read the book so much more. It just makes me appreciate the book cover so much more because the plot, because the cover designer like took time and effort to put stuff like that onto the book cover, and that just makes me really, really love a book cover. And honestly, I just noticed at the back, I'm assuming that that's Feyre there in the corner in the back. I'm not sure, but I think that's a really cool point. I like literally just noticed that, and I think that's really cool. I also am a really big sucker for little details that you don't notice straight off the bat, but you have to really look at the book cover in order to kind of pick up those little details. Queen of Hearts by Colleen Oakes I am obsessed with. I love that it looks like a card on the front, and the typography I just think is perfect for this type of Alice in Wonderland story. I also really enjoy when a publisher takes advantage of the space on the back here. They made it look like the front and the back of a card where they didn't have to. They could have put blurbs or something else back here to sell you the book, but they cared more about how the book looked, which is just, yes, publishers, yes. I really enjoyed that. The fact that they like made it a point to make this look like the front of the card, make this look like the back of a playing card, I really, really loved. I like the red and the white contrast in on the inside, and then on the front cover it says Princess, Warrior, Queen, which I'm like, yes, I love it. I don't know why like words on the naked cover of a book, like I really, really enjoy that. Harless by Marissa Meyer, another Alice in Wonderland book cover that I am obsessed with this year. I like that there's only two colors. Well, I guess the silver, never mind, so there's three. But the black and the red taking over most of the cover, I really enjoy. It's very simple, but it stands out, and like the vines that are on the cover are kind of like shiny, and I like that they use like this silver white color to kind of like come off of the black. I think that's really cool. But what really sold me over for this book cover is the naked one, and I love it. I'm obsessed. It is, I don't know, it doesn't look like a playing card, but I just really, it kind of looks like a chessboard, like a diamond chessboard, kind of. I don't know, but on the front it has the crown, and on the back it has like a jester's hat, which is a huge part of the novel because our main character has a romance with the court jester. So I think putting, again, those little details from the novel onto the book cover or the naked book cover really make me appreciate the cover designer for this book. Ivory Bone by Julie Eshba is another really simple book cover that I love a lot. I like I like this symbol on the front that kind of looks like it's shattering, and it's like raised so you can feel it, and I think that is so cool. Another thing that made me really love this book cover is black and teal are like my favorite color combinations, and if you can tell, the title and like the words right here are both in kind of like a teal green bluey color, and then the inside has that as well, and I really appreciated that about this book. It's just very simple, very eye-catching, and I like the huge color differences that they used on this book cover, and then the words on the side are also a teal green color, which I really enjoyed. I mean, how cool does that look? I just feel like teal and black right next to each other are just a really great color combination, and that made me really love this book cover. The Shadow Queen is another really simple monochromatic book, but I just love those. I'm a really big sucker for really simple eye-catching books, and this definitely delivers that. I love the apple is kind of like dipped in this blackness, and I love that it's like dripping off of the apple, and I have no idea how they made like that dripping look so cool, but I just am obsessed with how simple and beautiful this book is. The Sun is Also a Star by Nicola Yoon. There's actually a video on the internet of the cover designer creating this look, and it must have taken hours because what the cover designer did is they put little pins on the edges of the where she wanted the colors coming out of, and then pins around the words to make the word or to make the letters, and then she literally took colored string and like wove them around the different pins to give this look. And I just think it's so cool, like how she blended the colors into one another with string, and like how vibrant and like it is. I don't know like if that's a technical word, but it's like in your face, and it kind of looks like a sunburst coming out at you, and I just think that's really awesome. Again, I'm not a very big fan of the pinks and purples, but I think in this case it does, like, it's so cool and so colorful and so bright and great for a contemporary read. And I haven't read this one yet, and I'm really excited to pick it up, but I just love how they were able to do this book cover. And last but not least, Ever the Hunted is a gorgeous book. I love the whites and the golds, and the biggest thing that sold me for this book cover is the typography. I'm a huge sucker for font and typography, and I just thought that this was just gorgeous. And there's really not much more I can say about this book cover, just because it is kind of plain, and you really have to look closely at the different details that this book cover gives you, and I can't really do that with not having the physical book on me. But I just love how the typography is what is like the main artwork on this book cover. I just think it's gorgeous. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching. Make sure you check out the description for all of my links and social medias and everywhere that you can find me on the internet. And if you want to watch my most recent video, you can click right there, or if you'd like to subscribe, you can click right there, which would make me oh so happy. I would really appreciate it. And thank you guys again so much for coming, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!